Welcome to this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. You know, September is a big month. Kids are already back in school. Everything's starting to get settled in with that. But there's two events coming up here that you're going to want to pay attention to. We have a fabulous recycling drive coming up on September the 17th. And before that, we have the Taste of Suffolk Downtown Street Festival on Saturday, September the 10th. So we'll be highlighting those two events and a whole lot more concerning recycling, as well as great events here in the city of Suffolk when we return. Welcome back to On the Scene, joined now by Wayne Jones, who's a litter control coordinator here with the city of Suffolk. Thanks for being with us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, you know, you have a variety of things you cover as far as in your domain, as far as here with the city of Suffolk. But let's talk specifically about the Adopt-A programs.
Okay.
We see signs for that. People talk about that. Different groups are involved. How does that process work? And really, what can people do through those programs?
Sure. The Adopt-A program is one of the more successful programs. It's great. We have a lot of volunteers. In the last year alone, we had about 680 volunteers in the program. They donated about 1,800 hours, and we collected about 850 bags of trash. That's just bags of trash.
Right.
It doesn't include all the piles of debris and the random car parts that you find along the side of the road. So that's what the Adopt-A program does. It does litter cleanups along the streets and in our parks and our public spaces. And to get involved, it's really easy. The application process is super efficient and fast. You pick an area that you'd like to adopt, say your street, and you can send an application in to me, get hold of me, and I'll send you an application out, fill it out, send it back to me, and we'd check to see if it's available, if we have the right of way, which is important.
Sure.
And then once that's been established, we'll approve your application, and you can set your time up to do your litter pickup.
Is there any fees for the people that sign up for this? There's no application fee or nothing. So really, it's just the time you want to put into it.
Yeah, I mean, the real cost is the people's time, which we're very grateful for.
Sure.
It's a great way to give back to the community. We have a lot of different types of groups that choose to adopt for many different reasons, from the Boy Scouts, Girl Scout groups to the church groups. We have groups that just want to adopt a road because it's important to them. For example, we have one group that adopted a street because a friend of theirs passed away on that street. And it's a way for them to get together and you know, give back and remember their friend. So there's lots of reasons why people adopt.
Sure.
It's a really good fun program. Believe it or not, but litter picking up with some friends is a giggle. It's a good time and it feels great, and it makes, you know, it's an instant. You know, you see the street when it's all trashy, and then you pick it up and it looks great, and you drive past it and you're proud. So yeah, it's a good program. It's been going for a long time here in Suffolk. You see it in other cities, and it's very popular. But yeah, it's free, and
good deal.
Please join.
Now, when people are part of the Adopt-A program, do they have to coordinate with you once they're in the program to say, we're going to be doing a cleanup on this date because someone's got to take that stuff away, right?
Yes. I mean, I'm very flexible. You can email me on the day or call me up on the day, and I will set up the equipment. Got it. Ideally, it'd be nice to have 2 or 3 days notice. So if you think you're going to do the cleanup on the Saturday, you know, give me a call or email me on the Tuesday or the Wednesday. Let me know how many volunteers you're expecting, and I'll provide you with the correct amount of equipment. So we'll give you the litter grabbers, gloves, safety vest, and the bags, and then a cleanup report card, because we like to keep a tally of these things, so I can give you the statistics, and you can prove that the program is doing a great job. Very good. So just let me know. Provide you with the equipment. You pick it up, you do your thing, and then you let me know how many bags and where you've sort of stashed them, collected them, and I get the the Public Works crew to go out and collect the bags.
Very good. Pretty simple process.
It's very simple, and if anybody in the program has any kind of feedback, any ways to improve the program, to make it more, you know, efficient and easier for people, just speak to me, and I will happily, you know, make it better. That's the goal.
One of the big events I know you have, and you actually, I think you do this twice a year right now, is the recycling drive. And we have one coming up on Saturday, September 17th at the Lowe's on North Main Street. And this one will be a little bit different because you're kind of expanding it a little bit, correct?
We are, We're always looking to grow. So in the spring, we brought in the food bank because we thought that would be a great idea to buddy up with the food bank so we could collect food and do something different there. And we're doing that again this time. They'll be there. So please bring out any donations. You might not have recyclables, but if you've got something in the cupboard that you want to donate, please do. But this year, this time around in the fall, we're also looking to bring in household hazardous waste. I get a lot of calls for disposing, you know, of paints, oils, pesticides, indoor pesticides for rodents, etc. Pool cleaning stuff, you name it. anything to do with household hazardous waste that you can take to the SIPSA facility, you can bring to the Lowe's recycling drive on September 17th. And it's from 9 to 1. Normally we do 10 to 2, but this time it's 9 to 1.
Okay.
We thought we'd start a little bit earlier. People like to get up a little bit earlier around here.
Kind of get that part of their day
that's
done.
Right, yeah. And we've got the tyres. We'll be collecting the tyres as normal. Last 2 events, we've collected a total of about 2,000 tyres.
Wow.
So it's a much needed amnesty. It helps to obviously prevent the dumping of tyres, which in turn leads to mosquitoes, and we want to try and combat that as well. So it's pretty important.
And it keeps our community looking good too.
And it looks great. We don't want tyres everywhere, and and people need to dispose of them. So please bring out the tyres and the household hazardous waste. You can recycle your plastic bags, and we all got tons of those. So please bring out those, and we send those to a company in Virginia called Trex, and they turn it into composite decking. So it's good for Virginia.
Yes, indeed.
So please bring your plastic bags. What else? Household batteries. That's another program, and that's a program we run through the year anyway. But we make a point of collecting them on the recycling drive. But if you do want to recycle your batteries throughout the year, you can take them to the libraries. We have a little collection point, which is important to keep out hazardous materials from our landfill, which leaches into the soil. Which is bad, and for obvious reasons. So bring your batteries. And just a regular recycling stuff, glass, cardboards, plastics 1 and 2s. We don't take any other plastics at the moment, but 1 and 2s. And then Goodwill will also be there, so any type of electronics too. This is another increasing thing that's being found in landfills now, obviously, as we have all these devices and computers. Electronics are another big part of our waste. So if it's broken, bring it anyway. Goodwill have a partnership with Dell computers, and they take a lot of things apart and recycle them responsibly, which is great, and we're very happy to be partnering with Goodwill. And you can bring your gently used clothing too, another thing that they take. But yes, and Shred It, another popular one. They'll be there as always. Online document shredding on site, I meant to say. On site shredding, which is another great service, especially with fraud and identity theft stuff. People really want to.
You don't want to just throw it away. You want it to kind of
exactly. You want to dispose of it correctly, and they recycle it too. So,
very good.
They'll be there. So please bring your tax forms or any other important documents you might have. We kind of ask a limit of about 3 brown grocery bagfuls. That's a measurement. Otherwise, the line backs up.
I would imagine.
And then we're out on the main street.
But you stay with your documents while they're doing the shredding.
Absolutely,
You don't just drop it
please
and go.
don't just drop them
and
off and
that
go.
way you kind of have some.
We want to make sure it's
destroyed.
quite to make sure it's
that
secure.
Security going.
Yes. So please, with any of the items really, there will be volunteers on site. They're all volunteers, but they will be on site to help. So if you've got a bunch of stuff, maybe you're a little bit frail, elderly, please don't be put off. Please come out. We will help unload. And it's good fun. So please come on in, recycle your stuff, make a donation to the food bank, and that'll be great.
Win-win for everybody. Again, Saturday, September 17th. At the Lowe's parking lot there in North Main Street, right here, kind of near downtown Suffolk. Correct?
That's right. From 9 to 1.
Very good. Very good. Now we talked about recycling, but one of the topics we talked about ahead of time, recycling contamination. So talk about what that means. I know we have the blue roll-off containers here in Suffolk that TFC, we partner with them to do the recycling, but we want to get people thinking about what you put in the can. It's not a garbage can.
No, it's not.
It's just for recycling. So talk a little bit about that.
So there's the 2 streams. You've got your green can, which is for your trash, and then you've got your blue can, which is for your recycling. Recycling contamination is becoming an increasing problem. Partly because of what I just said about electronics. They're sneaking in. People think you can recycle them, so they go in the blue can. Well, you can recycle them, but it's not the correct way to do it. The blue can is for cardboards, your plastics 1 and 2s, which are pretty much your beverage containers, glass bottles, containers, your aluminum cans. But the main contaminants actually are plastic bags. A lot of people will actually put their recycling in a bag and then put it in the blue container. It becomes the #1 contaminant, partly for that reason. Again, you can recycle the plastic, but you can't do it in the blue can, because what happens is when it goes to the facility, it wraps in the machinery, and it melts and it causes a fire, but they have to cut it out every hour pretty much. So that's the #1 contaminant. Another popular one is hose pipes, or dog leashes. Anything long that can wrap in machinery is a #1 contaminant. And that's becoming more of an issue. So we're focusing on contamination issues, just reminding people to keep the plastic bags out, you know, keep the beverage containers in, the yard debris out. And I'm going to be focusing more on this as we go into the fall. On November 15th is America Recycles Day. So we're hoping to set up some stuff at the libraries, talk about recycling contamination. We're going to be having a plastic bag drive. Last year we did a similar event. We collected loads of plastic bags, about 3 SUV loads of plastic bags. People came out and everyone's got a cover, you know, a store covered, and it's just jam-packed with plastic bags. So bring them out, and we'll send them to Trex, and we'll get them recycled. But the whole idea of the plastic bag drive is to raise awareness of contamination, and that being the #1 contaminant.
And I think on most of the blue containers, they have a sticker that kind of visually shows you. But you know, if you're out there and you walk out in the middle of the night, throw something in, you lift up, you're not looking at that, or you're not thinking. But like you say, plastic bag, you think, well, they take plastics.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Not quite that type, like you say.
It is confusing, and there are what I would call aspirational recyclers. Ones that people, and I'm guilty of this also, you think it's recyclable, so you kind of think, I'll put it in the blue can anyway.
Let them figure it out later.
Yeah, exactly. So the more information that I can give to people, the easier it is, and the more natural it will become.
Got it.
And I go into the schools, and I talk to the kids about it. The kids are actually they're pretty good. They know their stuff. I've done the can you recycle this with kids and with the adults, and the kids, they get it right 9 times out of 10, and the adults are left scratching their head.
Start them young, right?
That's right, behavior change, you know. But it is confusing, and recycling is a good thing to do. It's good for many reasons. You know, it helps our local economy too, it provides a lot of jobs. And it produces another product at the end of the day, which we can turn into something else. So it's
a la recycle.
So, and it all happens, you know, in your backyard, basically, where you're making those decisions of whether or not to put it into a landfill or put it into recycling. So it's a worthwhile thing to do.
Very good.
So recycling contamination, something we're focusing on, improving our contamination rates. Sorry, not improving our contamination rates, reducing our contamination rates. There we go.
But again, like you say, once it gets to the site, you're just helping the process move along quicker. If you don't have to have someone sitting there pulling the things out, or like you say, gumming up the works with the machines. You just make everything run smoother and better for everyone down the line. You're still accomplishing what you want to do, which is we're trying to help green the planet. And by recycling, that's certainly a good, effective way to do that. But just use your blue bin accordingly. Use your green for what you do for that, and then everything works out fine.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. And we're seeing an evolving, in terms of waste, the waste stream is evolving. We're using a lot more plastics these days than we used to use glass. So we want to recycle those plastics, because those plastics will have, you know, if they go out as litter, then possibly they'll end up in the rivers, which end up in our bay. They break down, and we end up with a lot of plastics in the ocean. Definitely the trickle-down effect when you do that. It is, But,
okay, very good. Well, Wayne, look, I appreciate you sharing all the great information with us today. Again, we want to target that date, Saturday, September the 17th, at the Lowe's store on North Main Street. And of course, the Adopt-A programs, that's going on year-round. You can contact this guy right here. And again, we talked about the contamination of the recycling efforts. Again, you have a campaign coming out this fall.
In November.
But again, we want to get people thinking it now. So again, it's always a good time to talk about that. So people want to reach you, what's a good contact number?
Contact me Monday to Friday, 514-7604. So 514-7604. Or they can just email littercontrol at suffolkva.us.
Very good.
And I will respond. If you've got any type of recycling questions, littering questions, just call me, and I'll happily get back to you and help you out.
Wayne, thank you for your time today, and thank you for what you do here for the residents and the citizens of the city of Suffolk. Appreciate everything. We will have more on the scene right after this short break. Welcome back to On the Scene, joined now by Emily Upton. She is the Special Events Coordinator with Suffolk Parks and Recreation. Emily, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Here we are, we're kind of late August, early September, and we have a big event coming up in September that Parks and Rec is fronting. It's our annual Taste of Suffolk Festival, Downtown Street Festival, coming up on Saturday, September the 10th.
That is correct.
So let's tell everybody about what Taste of Suffolk is all about, and really what the mission of it is. And of course, the word taste in it kind of tells us what we're talking about.
Of course. Taste of Suffolk is here to highlight all the great restaurants we have locally here in Suffolk. So we take all the brick and mortar restaurants that want to participate, and we bring them down to Main Street so everyone can get a taste of everything they've wanted to try throughout the city. It's a big city we have here, so sometimes you don't make it from one end to the other. So we're bringing them close to you now in downtown Suffolk. So we'll bring them down, we'll set up tents along Main Street, and then you can go and try the best samples of all their their best menu items.
Very good. I mean, again, everything's in one location. And of course, while food is the biggest part of the festival, usually you have some contests that are part of this as well?
Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings is participating with us again on the Hot Wing Challenge. We're excited to have them. We have a bunch to offer at the Taste of Suffolk event. So we also do merchant vendors as well. So if you want to come shopping or check out some new local services around the area, be sure to check out the merchant vendor area. We bring the cars out and have a new car show from our local vendors here, our local car shops. We also have a large kids area for the kids to have fun too. And we have a plant sale from the Suffolk Master Gardeners. We're excited to have them again this year. They were with us last year and that worked out really well. Come buy some plants to start off the fall season. And then this year we have the great addition of a beer garden.
Oh wow, okay.
Which is something we're excited to bring.
Yes.
Craft brews are everywhere now. So we are bringing out a little area in front of the stage where you can come, have a beer, relax, and listen to some good music.
Very good. And of course, everything's going to be right there in the heart of downtown on Main Street, so set up right there. So again, we'll have some of the street areas blocked off. Available parking, where can people kind of park?
They can park in the Saratoga parking lot. Thank you to First Baptist Church for allowing us to use their parking lot on Main Street as well. There is also the parking lots behind Commerce and behind the courthouse as well.
Got it. And all the parking, of course, is free.
Yes.
Right, so there's no charge for that. Certainly no charge for admission to the festival area.
Yes.
Now the food items, of course, will be at charge by the restaurants themselves. But again, it's sort of almost like, well, I'm sure they'll have some fuller size things, but you also have some sample things that they're providing at a minimal cost as far as for people to kind of get that taste like you talked about.
They usually go between $3 and $5 for their sample items, but the event is completely free and open to the public. So if you want to come, just walk around and enjoy the nice weather we're hoping to have this year again in September. You're more than welcome to. The kids area is free. The petting zoo is free. Just to walk around the area is no cost. The beer garden area to listen to music, there's no cost unless you'd like to enjoy a drink.
Very good. Now the entertainment you talked about, we have some live, obviously live bands and also a DJ as well, correct?
Yep, we'll have a DJ over on the contest stage, which will be this year at Market Street. So between contests there'll be some music going, and then down at the beer garden area, right there at the corner of Washington and Main Street, we'll be having Wesley Spangler will play in the early afternoon, and then we'll be following up the Joe Gosman Band.
Very good. And of course, Saturday, September the 10th is the date. When does everything kind of kick off?
It starts at 11 a.m. and we'll be there till 5.
All right. Now you mentioned the children's area. I know we're jumping around here, but the children's area, what's going to be going on in that particular area? Because again, a great opportunity for, this is really a family event is what we're talking about.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so we'll have some bounce houses, some arts and crafts, some face painting as well. That's always a huge hit down there. Small little treats for the kids and just fun activities for the kids to stay entertained during the day.
Very good. And again, it's a one-day festival, but a lot going on in that one day. You have the food that's available, the entertainment, the kids area, the vendors, which are going to be there as well, the car show. I mean, I don't know what else you don't have. I mean, it's kind of everything but the kitchen sink.
We squeeze everything we can there in downtown Suffolk, bring it all to you in one location.
Very good. Now, moving outside of the Taste of Suffolk just for a second, and I know, here we are again, kind of late summer, the very cusp of the beginning of fall, and we're already starting to think about the holidays.
Yes, we are.
So again, we have the holiday parade that's coming up, of course, December
10th is the date.
Okay. And that'll also be in downtown Suffolk.
It will.
But and the reason we're talking about it is not to talk about, well, the parade's coming up, which we do want to make sure people put that on the calendar, but it's a good time now to start putting your entry in for that.
Yes, applications are available. If you have a group that wants to walk, dance, or float down Main Street, we'd love to have you. So if you go to the website, which will pop up on the screen. We're taking applications now. There's a $25 entry fee through the end of October, and then it's $50 to submit your group.
So an incentive to kind of get that done early, get yourself in the lineup, which is always a great event, and we'll be at night again this year, right?
It will be. So we ask for lights and sounds to make it fun.
Very good. Now, back to Taste of Suffolk for just a second. You also have a website there that, of course, lists the food vendors, the entertainment, all the activities that'll be going on. So again, that's a great resource for people to tap into. Again, circling Saturday, September the 10th on your calendar. You said everything starts around 10?
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Okay. Okay.
So check out the website, double check where you want to park for the event. We'll have all that information on there as well.
Okay. And again, just want to say thanks to you and the staff at Suffolk Parks and Rec for putting on great festivals like this. I mean, Suffolk is so rich in everything you have to do. This is just another example of that. And this festival has been going on since, I think, 2007.
This is our 10th year.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. We are in our 10th year of this event, so we're really excited. Yes. We just try to grow every year. Last year we added the plant sale. This year we added the beer garden.
Very good.
Trying to make it bigger and better every time.
And again, the layout, again, sort of stretches from correct me if I'm wrong, Main and Washington, that intersection there, which of course you said the main stage is there.
Yep.
And it will go down Main Street, moving kind of away from downtown, but it kind of caps off where?
Over at Finney.
Finney, okay, good
Yep,
deal.
so we go all the way to Finney, and then the kids area there is on Saratoga, right in front of those shops right there between Saratoga and Main Street, right there on Washington.
And I know you noted that the food area will be kind of between that Market to Washington section, correct?
Yep.
The vendors, is that from Market kind of down toward Finney, moving that direction?
Exactly.
As far as how the area's laid out.
So if you want to park at First Baptist, you can walk through the vendor area, check out the cars, and then come down for food, and then taper off to the kids area.
Very good. Again, Saturday, September the 10th, the Taste of Suffolk Downtown Street Festival. Looking forward to it. And Emily, thanks again to you and everybody for bringing these events. And again, as we noted, not too early to start thinking about the holiday parade if you want to have an entry in that event, and that's December the
10th?
10th, okay. December the 10th. So we got two couple of 10s here going on here. December 10th, September 10th, putting them on your calendar. Make sure you go check out the websites again for downloadable information for the holiday parade, and again, all the whole lineup for Taste of Suffolk, so you know kind of what's coming up when you head out there for that big event. Again, Emily, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. That would do it for this edition of On the Scene. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.